Welcome to Math with Sommy. In this video, I am going to cover what an integer is all about. Integers are like whole numbers which can be positive or negative. So it can either be a whole number which is positive or negative. Likewise, zero. Let's dive a little deeper. Imagine you have $5,000 in your pocket. We can represent that $5,000 with numbers such as 5,000 as shown here. Now, also imagine you owe someone $5,000. We could also represent that debt that you are owing using numbers. That's negative 5,000 because you are owing an individual. And if you have no money and you are not owing anybody, that's you owe no one no money, we can represent that with zero. Therefore, both the 5,000 naira and the negative 5,000, that's minus 5,000 and zero, they are all integers. Now let's look at this. This is just like a number line which have 0 at the middle, and at the right hand side we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and all the numbers at the right hand side means to infinity. That's continuous. The number continues. So as long as it's a positive number at the right hand side, and all these numbers at the right hand side that are positive, they are all integers which can be called positive integers. Remember, 0 is neither a positive or negative integer, and 0 is an integer. Likewise, at the left hand side of the 0 we have negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, and so on, and they are also integers. If you look at the second example B, we will have negative 1,358, which is also an integer, though it's a negative integer. Also have 8,632. This is a positive integer and is a large number, so it is still an integer. And we also have negative 568 is a large number and is still an integer. And we also have 999,450, and they are integers as well. So all these numbers, both positive, negative, and as large as the number is, they are all integers. Now, this number 3 is very important. That's number C. Dash is an integer. 0 is also an integer. This says, sorry, no, fractions and decimals are allowed. They are not integers. So with this, we all know that we have 3 groups of integers, which are positive integers, negative integers, and 0. These are the 3 groups of integers that we have. And note that 0 is neither positive nor negative, but it is an integer. But at the same time, there are numbers that are not integers, such as fractions and decimals. Example, 2.5, 1 over 2, negative 3.7, 4.25. So fractions and decimals are not integers. 2.5, they are not integers. 1 divided by 2 is not an integer. Negative 3.7, or even if it is positive 3.7 or negative 3.7, is not an integer. Then 4.25 is not an integer. For example, assuming we have 5.0, which is equal to 5, this is an integer. But if we have 5.2, which is not even equivalent to 5, this is a decimal and it is not an integer. Now, using this number line, this 0 is at the middle and the number at the right hand of 0 are positive integers. The numbers at the left hand of the 0 are negative integers. And looking at this number line, we will notice that 5 is greater than 2, right? This is because 5 is further away to the right, unlike 2 that is closer to 0. Likewise, negative 2 is greater than negative 5. This is because negative 2 is further to the right, that is closer to 0 than negative 5. And this is where many students get confused. With negative numbers, the number closer to 0 is greater. Just have this in mind that with negative numbers, numbers closer to 0 are greater. For example, negative 3 is greater than negative 10. If we check it out in our number line above, look at negative 3 and here lies negative 10. So remember, I said numbers closer to zeros are greater and negative 3 is closer to 0. So in terms of negative numbers that are closer to 0 are greater, and negative 10 is further away from 0, and that's why negative 3 is greater than negative 10. That's if we use debt as an example, if you are owing someone $3, it's better than owing someone $10 because you can easily pay up $3 than $10. Let's look at the basic operations with integers. Let's look at the addition first. 3 plus 2, what will it give us? 5. Now, if we look at our number line here, we have 3 adds to 2. This is 3. It means we should add extra 2 integers, and when we add, we have 1, 2, and that's why we have 5 as our answer. Also, let's look at another example. This time around, we have 5 subtract 3. How do we get it? It means from 5 here, we subtract 3. That's we move to the left hand side, and when we do that, we have 1, 2, 3. Therefore, 5 subtract 3 gives us 2 because we are at this positive integer being 2. If we move to the left hand side, this is our answer for 5 subtract 3. But when 3 subtract 5, what will it give us? If we look at our number line, it means 3 should subtract 5. And look at this 3. If we subtract 5, we are going to the left. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we subtract 5 by moving to the left, we have negative 2. And we got this using this number line. That's both the positive, negative, and 0, whereby the number line is made up of integers. This demonstrates why negative integers are necessary. With this, you will notice that positive and positive numbers usually move to the right, while positive and negative numbers, just like we showed here, 3 subtract 5, usually moves to the opposite direction. That's the numbers works in opposite direction, which is the left hand side. For example, we have 7 plus negative 4, and if you look at it here, we have 7 and we are adding negative 4. Let me explain it in a layman's language. You have 7 oranges, but you are owing someone 4 oranges. So what will you do? You have to pay up your debt. So if 7 removes 4 moves, we move to the left hand side, just like I explained. We solve it like this: 7 removing 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So when 7 adds to negative 4, we now have our answer to be 3. Now let's look at these questions. Which number is greater? Is it negative 3 or negative 8? Remember that we learned that in terms of negative numbers, that number that is closer to 0, they are greater. So if we look at this negative 3 and negative 2, the number that is greater or that is closer to 0 is negative 3. Therefore, negative 3 is greater. The number 2 question says, which is an integer? Is 3.5 an integer? Remember, decimals are not integers. Negative 7, is it an integer? Let's check out that first. 1 over 2 is a fraction. Is it an integer? No. Remember, fractions are not integers. Is it an integer? No, because it's a decimal number. Therefore, the only integer that we have here is negative 7 is an integer. So now, the third question says, is 0 an integer? Is it or is it not? Drop your answer in the comment sections, and if possible, tell us why it is an integer or it is not an integer. Thanks for watching. See you in our next amazing videos, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment your thoughts in the comment section. Bye.